EdgarCayce lived from 1877 to 1945 and has been called the sleeping prophet, the father of New Age, and the most documented psychic of the 20th century. For more than 40 years of his adult life, Cayce gave psychic readings to thousands of seekers while in an unconscious state, diagnosing illnesses and revealing past lives and prophecies yet to come. Later in life, Cayce would find that he had the ability to put himself into a sleep-like state by lying down on a couch, closing his eyes, and folding his hands over his stomach. In this state of relaxation and meditation, he was able to place his mind in contact with all time and space, the universal consciousness, also known as the superconscious mind. From there, he could respond to questions as broad as, what are the secrets of the universe, and what is my purpose in life, to as specific as, what can I do to help my arthritis, and how are the pyramids of Egypt built? His responses to these questions came to be called readings, and their insights offer practical help and advice to individuals even today. As I see it, the New Age movement is a non-religious combination of Eastern and Western spirituality formulated into a series of beliefs and practices that have become known to the public and been used under the title of New Age. Many ideas and concepts are associated with the New Age movement and EdgarCayce. 5 of those things I will discuss are dreams, psychic or clairvoyant abilities, health and alternative medicine, reincarnation, and spiritual growth. What EdgarCayce had to say about dreams is that although it is true that many of us do not consciously remember our dreams, everyone dreams. The most important insights gained from the wealth of this material is the fact that each of us is aware of much more about ourselves, our physical bodies, our surroundings, even our lifestyles at subconscious levels than we are when we are awake. Dreams can diagnose the causes of our physical ailments, point out the thoughts and emotions that we've tried to overlook, and often make suggestions for improving our relationships with others. While dreaming, we can gain awareness about our entire being, physically, mentally, and spiritually. The story of EdgarCayce's life is filled with examples of psychic powers. His ability to give readings in the sleep state could be called ESP because he somehow knew information that he had never studied, and he could see people, places, and events without using his eyes. While asleep, he could answer questions on any topic, or he could give descriptions of the individual and his or her surroundings. In the 1920s and 1930s, long before traditional medicine began examining the impact the mind has on physical health, EdgarCayce was laying the groundwork for one of the most fascinating truths presented in the 20th century, which is this: what one thinks and feels emotionally will find expression in the physical body. Mental patterns can have a direct impact upon good physical health or disease. The mind, Cayce asserted, is a powerful tool in creating health and wellness. Maintaining a well-balanced diet, regular exercise, the role of attitudes and emotions, and the importance of relaxation and recreation are all stressed by Cayce in order to live a truly healthy lifestyle. The readings make recommendations for a variety of health concerns from acne, diet, and cancer to arthritis and mental illness. Nearly every condition that existed between 1901 and 1945 is represented in the files of the Cayce material. Interestingly, modern-day researchers have found that many of the recommended treatments given to specific individuals seem to be applicable today on a much wider scale. EdgarCayce advocated that reincarnation is the belief that each of us goes through a series of lifetimes for the purpose of spiritual growth and soul development. The past merely provided a framework of potentials and probabilities, and an individual's choices, actions, and free will in the present determines the actual experience lived this time around. Within this framework of lessons that needed to be learned as the soul strives to meet itself is the central idea that the soul is constantly experiencing the consequences of its previous choices. This concept is expressed in biblical terminology as what you sow, you must reap, and is generally labeled as like attracts like by many of those associated with the law of attraction. The EdgarCayce readings emphasize the spiritual nature of humankind. However, because of the demands of life, we frequently overlook the truest part of ourselves, which is our connection to spirit. Although we possess physical bodies and mental attitudes, ultimately our deepest connection is to our spiritual source. One of the most frequently mentioned concepts in the EdgarCayce material is that spirit is life, mind is the builder, and the physical is the result. And in order to become more attuned to our spiritual source, for decades the Cayce readings emphasized the importance of meditation. Cayce believed that meditation was listening to God, while prayer was talking. In Cayce's honor, the Association for Research and Enlightenment was built and still exists today. Known as the ARE, their mission is to help people change their lives for the better through the ideas and information found in the EdgarCayce readings. Even though Cayce was a devout Christian his whole life, with his beliefs and popularity paved the way for the New Age movement to emerge and be structured around what he taught. Now, spirituality and New Age are not synonymous, but New Age is the major leader in non-religious spirituality, and without it, non-religious spirituality wouldn't be the same. Because of this, EdgarCayce paved the way for the sensational film The Secret, and also Oprah's spiritual leadership. Another phenomenon widely talked about in the spiritual community is A Course in Miracles. This book claims to have been channeled through Helen Schucman by Jesus himself and expresses spiritual beliefs and mind training that is required of a person to become enlightened. The connection between A Course in Miracles and EdgarCayce is clear, and as you can see, modern-day spirituality and the New Age movement have EdgarCayce to thank for their origins.